Tall Paul. Now, when you start the Producers Podcast with Tall Paul Joseph and Jack Silver,
yes,
we try to impart some wisdom on the young producers in the audience. And today we're going to explain, like, when you're trying to book a guest for your talk show or your podcast,
right?
What do you think would be the easiest guest to get? You know, just to try to eliminate some of the perils of trying to book a guest. What would you think would make it easiest?
Down my daughter, who just released her new EP, last week. So that was good. That was
Right.
easy.
Well, you've already answered the question.
Okay.
Pick a family member.
Okay, there it is.
Because
have you done that?
I have done that today. So look, having Haley Joe,
yes,
your amazing daughter, and her unbelievable Christmas music has been a blessing for the podcast. It's doubled our viewership.
There you go. We'll keep it going.
We're up 100%.
Good.
So I thought, who could I get to kind of marry up to that? And I figured my son, So my son, Alex Silver, has an interesting sidebar, because the other part of being a producer is, okay, what else? What do people love, Paul, in addition to themselves?
Stories and animals.
Animals.
Yes.
Pets.
Yes.
So today we're going to get Alex Silver live from Irvine, California, to jump on the Producers Podcast any minute now. And he's got one of his roommates has an amazing bulldog.
Oh.
An English bulldog called Thor.
Okay.
And I thought not only would we get Alex on to talk, how great it is to be my son,
right,
but to also, speak of the devil.
Oh, look at him pop up there.
What's up, Alex S?
Hey.
Hey, is this microphone working?
It's working very well. You're a part of the Producers Podcast. That's Alex Silver. That's Tall Paul Joseph. I'm Jack Silver. And in the background, I can already see the actual reason, the celebrity guest joining us, the English bulldog Thor.
Welcome, Alex. Good to have you on, buddy.
Yeah, good to be here.
Yeah.
Now, Alex, I was telling Paul that the two best things for a producer for a podcast is to A, book a family member, and B, get involved with some sort of animal. You know how people love animals. So is there any way to share, because I have a great story about bulldogs. So Thor, look at him. He's all action.
Boy, he's really a dynamo.
Oh,
how do you contain that energy, Alex, with him?
Yeah, no. Here's the problem with this.
He can't seem to wake him up.
Which is also part of.
We're having some technical difficulties.
Tilt your camera towards Thor, because this really proves our point.
Yeah.
These bulldogs, God love them. They don't move up.
There he is. Well, you woke him up, and he doesn't look that happy about it.
Yeah, so we're gonna bring him over to the desk because.
Okay.
You think you can get him over there, Alex? Because I have a great story to tell. About.
Now, Alex is a programmer. Is that your line of work, Alex? Alex, are you a programmer?
Yeah, software. Oh boy, he's a
software engineer.
Hear him on there.
Software engineer.
Can you tilt the camera down so we get a little more Thor and a little less Alex S?
Let's
try that.
Try that.
There we go.
Now,
oh, there he is, and he's got Mike ready. Look at
now, is he a beauty?
Cute?
Right, he's a cute dog. And Alex, he look at he's just real mellow, right? I mean, his activity level is relatively low.
I think this is the rise of it right here. This is the height of his.
Yeah, that's the
best we got.
That's about the extent of what we're getting out of him.
Well, the reason, you guys, I wanted to have Thor on, in addition to the fact that it's Alex's, and Alex, even though it's your roommate's pet, he spends most of the time in your room, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, there's.
Yeah.
There must be a food stop over there. Is that where he's at? Yeah.
Oh, he's coming back for action. But doesn't he spend most of the time in your room?
He does spend a lot of time in here. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right. Well, real quick, and I won't keep you guys too long because that Thor, God love him, he's got
to get his sleep, a little nightcap.
He's got a big afternoon plan.
Look at that face.
Good boy. Look at that
cute.
Thor. So anyway, the reason I wanted to have him on, in addition to the fact that everyone loves animals.
Yes.
Let's get the speaker view. Is as a little boy, Paul.
Yeah.
All I ever wanted was a bulldog, an English bulldog, just like Thor.
Okay.
So you know how every kid, they ask their parents, Mom, can I get a dog?
Yeah.
Well, sure. I have pictures of bulldogs on my wall. I was obsessed with bulldogs. I always said they're so ugly, they're cute.
Right.
Just like Thor. I mean, look at that son of a gun.
I know.
This big fat tush sticking.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So one day, I must have been 8 or 10, between 8 and 10, and I hear the door open at the house. And it's my mom, and she says, hey, she called me Jackie. Say, Jackie, come here. We got a dog.
Oh.
So I'm thinking, amazing. We'll call him Brutus or Hercules, a nice bulldog. And, and look, like little Thor looking at us.
Yeah.
And I get to the door, and she's holding a little teacup poodle, Paul.
Oh.
A toy poodle.
Yeah.
And I go, well, Mom, correct me if I'm wrong. That's not a bulldog. She goes, it's the same thing. I go, not the same thing. I wanted a bulldog. You brought home a poodle, high strung. And I go, what's his name? Muffin.
Oh, that's a killer dog.
So Paul, so instead of
Muffin the poodle.
Instead of getting an English bulldog named Brutus or Hercules, I end up getting a poodle named Muffin. And the sidebar of that is our house, we had upstairs, downstairs.
Right.
So I would come down the stairs and there was like a coffee table that Muffin would hide under or sleep under. I don't know what he did. And every time I passed the coffee table, the son of a gun would come out and bite my leg. I go, Mom, this is not working out for me. Anyway, so forward fast to 2020.
Right.
Alex's roommate in Irvine has that beautiful, beautiful English bulldog named Thor. And I ended up with Muffin.
Yeah, that's a funny story. And he attacks the postman probably as well with their pants leg.
Mostly me. I don't know what it was.
Just didn't like you.
Remember those things are not, they're so wound so tight, those little, poodles, that it would bite me all the time. So long story longer, I love that dog. Alex, any way to get him up on the screen one more time, or where do you go?
There we go. Hold on. Yeah, I'll do the POV here.
Yeah.
Come here, Thor. Come here.
Oh, look at that. Now he's giving you the money shot.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh yeah.
Right. So, and now also, if I ask Mrs. Silver if we can have a doggy like you, do you have a flatulence problem?
He's a little excessive with the farting.
Little gassy.
Well, yeah.
Do you have a slobber problem? Do you drool much?
So he's actually pretty good because he's not that bad at drooling. I don't know if you noticed, but his nose is a little bit less like smushed in, like a lot of the bulldogs you'll see out there. Yeah, and that's actually a good thing for him because he can breathe. Yeah. But some people buy these dogs just for the smushed space, and that's why they breathe heavy and slobber, and they can't quite get their body functions. It's a lot like Jack Silver actually these days.
But the only thing, and does he snore, Alex?
Oh, yeah, and as you know, I have a hearing problem. Right. And I can still hear it, so it's pretty loud either way. So,
well, that's awesome.
My sister has a bulldog, and his name is Axel, and this thing has the pushed-in nose.
Oh man!
Poor things, they can't, like you said, they can't breathe well. They slobber all the time, and he sleeps upstairs, and you hear him sleeping upstairs. He's literally rattling upstairs. I swear to God, it's the most unbelievable thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they just. And low energy dogs. Energy.
Yeah.
On the next edition of the Producers Podcast, we'll check out your Australian sheepdog, Paul.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the shepherd. Yeah.
The shepherd. Excuse me. Yeah, that thing's a beautiful dog. All right, Alex.
I'm gonna leave you guys with one more fun fact, which is why they're called bulldogs. Apparently, they used to be help for like herding bulls back in the day. That's why they have those big jowls. So they don't. He doesn't feel any pain. This guy, you could pull at that and he'd just be snoring. It wouldn't matter. So, you can take that information.
Well, thank you, Alex S. And let me tell you something. We'd keep you on longer, but I know your company wants you to get back to write some computer code.
Oh, right. Yeah, I have a job. I forget this thing, to stay at home. It's like, it's like a vacation.
Question on your job. What is that like? You write code every day. How does that work? Do they give you so much to do every day in terms of, or do they just give you a project and say you have to have it done by such a date?
Yeah. So, you usually have a project and you break it down into smaller chunks. And every couple of weeks we have these cycles of work, and you try to get a certain amount of work done in that cycle, and slowly it becomes what you end up using if you use like Facebook or anything like that, and there's a new feature that pops up in there. It's a period of work. So yeah, I mean, you do that. I write code. I design the software stuff too. So I'll be doing like wireframes and mock-ups of what I think it should look like, and then I work with some other engineers to think how can we make that all happen. So yeah, it's the whole deal.
And as you can tell, Paul, the apple fell far from the tree.
I was going to say, are you understanding?
He's got a bright future.
Did you understand any of that?
No, but what I do understand is he does a great job. He works for a good company, and knock on wood, during the pandemic, he's been able to work. Well, actually, they've been working from home for a long time, right, Alex? Because your industry, you guys have been connected way before Zoom. You had your own meetings many times with your coworkers that way.
That's great.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the biggest difference is you got a little bit too long of a period without seeing people in person. I think that's honestly what's happened to a lot of people that are kind of wanted to go back into an office, which you never would have heard that before. No. I remember you were doing the same. You've been trying to sneak back into the office, which I've never heard you say that.
Yeah, right. So. Well, every once in a while you do want to see a warm body, but then when I get back to the actual office, not so much.
Yeah.
All right, Alex. Well, great. Thanks for checking in. Tell Thor we love him.
Yes.
And I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.
All right.
Thanks, Alex.
Thanks, guys. See you.
Buddy.
Oh, all right. Well, that's the animal story for today.
Well, not quite.
Oh, is there more?
What
do you got?
I got to set you up because you're talking about animals. I have to tell you what I just got finished doing. My mother lives 15 houses from me, and my sister has moved in with her. Mm-hmm. So what that meant was, you can add this up if you want, or just do it in your head. My mom has 5 cats and a dog. My sister brought 2 cats and a dog.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a sizable amount. Have you lost count already?
Well, I'm up to 8.
Okay. My uncle on Sunday, unfortunately, passed away, but lived a great life. No complaints. He was very happy, and he lived well into his 90s. Mm. But he, unbeknownst to my mom or me, my sister promised to take charge of his dog.
Oh.
Promised him before he passed.
I see.
So now she comes parading home yesterday with a little Pomeranian named Dory.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Cute as a button. But
high strung.
Add that to this menagerie and mix. These cats, Jack, when you walk in my mom's house, there are cats in the garage, a beautiful garage made for them. Yeah. There are cats upstairs with my sister.
Yeah.
The dogs get to kind of roam around, the 2 dogs.
Yeah.
And then now you add Dory, and there's all kinds of sliding gates in between, because you have to keep some out of some rooms, some out of the other. Yeah. And so today, and I'm worried about my mom because I don't want her trying to do too much, and fall and hurt herself or whatever.
Sure.
So this morning I was over there and I took the dog out for her, Dory, the new dog, outside for a walk. And my mom gets up looking for her. And my sister says, well, I don't know. And my mom falls. So she was okay. But it's just like I said to my sister, I said, this is your dog. You have to take charge of this dog.
Yeah.
Keep her upstairs. Keep her away. Mom doesn't need another animal to watch over. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just become this menagerie. And one of the dogs is an English bulldog. That's my sister's dog, Axel. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just, you wouldn't believe what's going on there.
Well, and to your point there, I always say no good deed goes unpunished.
Mm.
You go to take the dog out. Mom comes looking for the dog. Mom slips.
Right.
And it could have been worse than, hopefully it was just
it was just nothing. Thank God it was nothing. But it could have been something. And, I said, she doesn't need that when she's got all this to do already. And another worry about where's Dory all the time? Where's this dog?
And those Pomeranians, again, going back to my story, the smaller the dog, the more high strung they are.
Oh, yeah.
And they think they're real tough guys. So they bark a lot and they bite a lot. And it's like, please, the bigger dogs are real mellow. They got nothing, like Thor, he sleeps a lot. That's perfect.
Yeah, no, that's it. But that's my nightmare story of the day. But I want to do something funny with you too, as well. Okay. Embarrassing and funny at the same time.
Give it to me.
That I saw on the market.
All right.
That and this, I think maybe everybody's had this experience, not with this product, but with other products or whatever. But you stay 6 feet back from the person in line.
Sure.
So I see this guy and he's buying just a few items. One of the items was one of these little packages. I don't have it obviously, but it's about this big, the package. And it's one of those private area wipes that you buy. I don't know how to say it. I guess it's a private area wipe.
Okay.
Whatever you call it. But the poor guy evidently picked up a 2-pack, but got only one of them. Somebody had. So this woman on the microphone is going, I need the other wipe. I need it to check stand number 5. And then the woman on 1, we're on 5. The woman on 1 goes, show it to me and I'll get it. And everybody in the store is looking at this poor guy. And I see him, he's just melting as they're holding up these private area wipes high in the sky. And this went on for like a minute and a half. Then the box girl comes and she's going to go try to find the mate because they can't sell these individually. This guy's starting to sweat. I finally said to him, I said, why don't you just skip it?
Skip it or order it online.
I swear to God, I said that to him softly, and he went to the checker. He said, let's just skip it. I don't want it. Let's just skip it. He just wanted it to end.
That is funny. Well,
thing for him.
Can you imagine? That'd be like, I need an order. It depends on line on aisle 3,
right?
Or feminine hygiene product. Need a price check.
I mean, over the intercom, and just all the check stands. There were probably 8 check stands going. We're in the middle on 5. She's talking to 1. Everybody is listening and watching this thing.
Oh, so funny. Well, Well, remember my other slogan: don't leave the house.
Yeah.
Stay home. Seriously. All right. Well, let's move forward on a topic that I like a lot, but we always have to.
There's our girl.
There's our girl. Transition.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. We're on the air.
We're on the air. Don't have any material.
What are we talking about?
Well, luckily, here's what we're talking about, Paul. Okay. COVID-19 has been a bear. This 2020, God love it. Can't wait for it to be in the rearview mirror.
Give me my vaccination.
All you can do within the COVID world is pull up small victories, whatever they may be.
Yeah.
Whether it's keeping a job, whether it's getting a new job, whether it's spending some time with family and friends via Zoom, whatever it is. But I had 2 and 1 victories in the COVID. The first one was I found the Clorox. Look at this.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That looks like an antique. I haven't even seen one of those in the market. I'm
at the market. I always go down the same aisle. You never see these damn things. There were 6 of them on the shelf.
Wow.
I only took 1. That was nice, but I'll be damned, Paul. These things are beautiful. Smells like that. You wipe down your keyboard. But again, finding this in the middle of a COVID is like winning a hand of blackjack in Vegas.
Yeah, that looks like a rainbow to me, Jack.
Right.
I mean, seriously.
And the other thing that I've had a really tough time finding, and I found it the other day.
Oh.
Fabuloso. Are you hip to Fabuloso?
Oh. Well, you gargle with that? I don't know what that is.
No. This is an ethnic version of Pine Sol. Basically, housekeepers who love Fabuloso. Oh. It's like Pine Sol, but it's got a better smell. You can never find it because all the housekeepers, hoard it. So between my Fabuloso find,
wow, you really,
and my Clorox find,
look at you, your product ready. I good thing you told me about what's it called, Fabuloso?
Yeah, Fabuloso.
Fabuloso, because I really would have gargled with that. I had no idea.
No.
It looks kind of pleasant.
Now, by the way, the other real quick thing on gargling.
Yes.
Listerine is shown to really help you in the fight against COVID or sore throats or bacteria. So if you can find some Listerine at the market, make sure you get that too. Okay. Because they say that you should gargle once or twice a day with that to really clean your mouth out.
Well, I went in to get my teeth cleaned. I've been holding off.
Yeah.
And the first thing they do now in my dentist office, when you go in, is they really do a good job. It's one-on-one. There are no patients waiting.
Yeah.
You get in there and she says, here's your gargle. And you go over to the sink and you gargle first, because that's for that reason, like you're saying. It really
clears the mouth out. So that's the thing. All right. And then one other quick COVID thing I wanted to share with you that on Thanksgiving, I probably broke the protocol. We had the neighbors over, 2 neighbors, and actually Alex, the boy who was on earlier, my younger son.
Yeah.
We were sitting outside by the fire pit,
Okay.
socially distanced, having a drink and some cheese.
Yeah.
And I was wearing the mask. Hold on.
Yeah.
Had the mask on.
Look at that. Dr. Silver.
Right.
Yeah.
More like the game of Operation where I would hit the buzzer. So I got
Yeah.
the mask on, and then I look around, I go, wait a minute. The neighbors have Thanksgiving masks with little turkeys and
Oh, yeah.
clever looking things.
Yeah.
My wife has a really good cloth mask, and
Okay.
Alex, the boy, has a really nice cloth mask. And I thought to myself, is this the trailer trash version of COVID-19 masks?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think that's actually a good mask. They actually say those are better than the cloth masks.
Really? Because you feel like there's a class warfare.
I think there is a class warfare when it comes to masks because some are branded with logos.
I don't have that.
Like if you got the Rams or if you got the Raiders, or whatever you have, whatever your team.
Yeah.
They've got all the class warfare going on with these masks. But I think the little blue surgical masks, like my neighbor across the street is a cardiologist, and when he's off, he wears his scrubs. And I think it's to pick up women. I mean, it's a brilliant scheme.
Oh, that's a great way to get girls.
Oh, come on. Kidding? I mean, he's walking around in his scrubs, and they're all going like, "Oh, you're a medicine man, eh? Fantastic."
Well,
so I'm buying a pair of scrubs.
Well, I was going to say, ask him if we can borrow a couple of pairs of those things and work it, go to the market. Oh, sir, are you a doctor? Oh, yes, I am.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. Anyway, I just wasn't sure, and I was feeling bad about it, but I guess, whatever, they say, wear a mask, socially distance, and wash your hands.
Now, did you eat outside Thanksgiving too, or did you?
We ate outside, and we were relatively good with it, even though probably we get busted. Like Gavin Newsom got busted going to a restaurant.
How about that?
Yeah,
embarrassing for him.
It's embarrassing. I think I just also saw one where some lawmaker in Michigan said, stay at home, blah, blah. And then he took his daughter to Cabo for her wedding, and everyone's breaking the rules a little bit, which is the wrong thing, but we're trying our best.
Yeah, I feel sorry for these restaurants. I was out walking around yesterday in our area in Woodland Hills, around that area, where we go, and there's these outside malls, and there are these great restaurants with so much room, and they've spent all this money. I saw it, tables and separations and everything. And to me, that should be okay. It really should. And
it should be. And because I saw one of the restaurant guys say, look, if I give it to someone as a to-go bag,
right,
and then they go sit on a park bench right across the street, what's the difference?
Exactly.
So yeah, the socially distanced restaurants, they're like the one we go to, the guy had a pole, a 6-foot pole that he was measuring off. They're trying their best. So hopefully they can get that taken care of, and because those guys have really been hurt.
I feel bad. Yeah, for everyone.
All right, time to wrap up the Producers Podcast. Tall Paul Joseph, Jack Silver. We try to share a little. What are we sharing, Paul? A little something?
We're sharing knowledge. We're sharing fun.
Okay.
We're bringing on great-looking dogs. And, yes.
All right, so we got all that. But to tie a bow around it, the one thing I was going to tell you was, I don't know if you saw that your Los Angeles Lakers.
Oh, yes.
Helped cement their future. A little sports talk, real
quick.
Hold
on.
Uh-oh, get your. Think you're going to get your cap?
Who took my hat?
Uh-oh.
Where's my hat? Oh,
check
God.
with the missus, Paul.
Oh, my hat's gone. Anyway.
Right, but if you were there.
There you go.
It is. Right. So earlier in the week, they signed LeBron James to a 2-year, multi-million-dollar deal, which keeps him in place for another couple of years.
Yep.
Not that he was going anywhere, because he wants to be in Los Angeles for his production company and all the great things he's doing off the court.
Right.
But I read where they also signed Anthony Davis, the big center, to like a 5-year deal, $190 million, which once LeBron retires, you'll be able to keep Anthony Davis as the center of your team. Yep. So the Lakers look very strong for the next 10 years. By the way, after a pretty rough go, after Kobe retired, it was a little bit of a dip, as you may recall.
There was quite a dip there. But, this, in terms of, like, just thinking of LeBron, he didn't have to wait a season to get back to this. He basically hasn't aged since they won the championship.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's this whole COVID thing for him and the Lakers has been kind of a blessing because they've gotten to rest him, and then
Yep.
he came back and played. And now, a month after he finished the season, he's back in, like he's playing again. So they're getting the most mileage out of LeBron
Yeah.
and the Lakers as they can, which is
Well,
good.
I think you're right about that, and everyone's predicting probably a repeat if they can do as well in the new season that starts. I think the 22nd of December
Right.
starts the new NBA season. And then one last thing I thought was really, I read a good article in Sports Illustrated. As you know, I'm the last guy to actually read magazines.
Yeah, I didn't know you could read.
Yeah, well, hey, Snippy, take it easy, big boy. Yeah, I can read, but a lot of people don't actually open the magazine. They read it online. Anyway,
Yeah.
Great article about Clayton Kershaw.
Oh,
Pitcher, do you have a Dodgers hat handy or no?
no, it would take me a minute to. I do
Okay,
have.
we don't have time. We got to wrap this bad boy up.
Of course, I've got it.
Great article about how Clayton Kershaw, now that he finally, exercised, the demons to win in the postseason and to win a World Series.
Yeah.
He now has a big weight off his shoulders because he did bring a World Series after 32 years to Los Angeles. But the interesting part of the story was, I should have saved the picture. Sorry. Picture Clayton Kershaw. He's got his mitt, a Wilson A2000 mitt. If you can picture it, remember it's real kind of flat.
Yeah.
Very flat. He's worn it used it for years and years and years. Somebody finally talked him into, now that he won the World Series with that mitt, either put it in Cooperstown or save it as a big, huge collectible and sell it for a lot of money. And then starting this year, when the Dodgers come back in the spring, not only will he be a world champion, but he'll have a new baseball glove to move forward in the next many years. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it is interesting because baseball players in general are so superstitious.
Yeah.
And by the way, with that mitt that looked like it was from, Little League.
Yeah, sure. Right.
It looked like one of those all flattened out and bent. He should retire that cap that he wears.
Right, with the sweat stains.
The sweat stains that are permanent because he wears the same one.
Yeah.
And it looks awful. He needs a new cap, a new mitt, and let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, that's the Producers Podcast. Paul, I'm spent again. I mean, maybe I need to work out a little more because 30 minutes of talking with you and our listener really work a guy out.
Yeah, it's good job, Jack.
Okay, well, let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's reconvene soon.
Yes.
Let's have everybody share the podcast, rate it.
Leave your comments about it, good or bad. We love to hear about it. And just share it with people and let's build our following. Let's do that.
All right. We'll talk soon. You guys have an amazing day. We'll catch you next time on the Producers Podcast with Tall Paul Joseph and what's his name?
Jack Silver.
Nice.